House of Blues in Dallas. She has been seen at Second City in Chicago. She is all over Long Island, and she is really fucking sexy. So please welcome to the stage, Miss Claudia Benavida.
Go. All right, so I'm gonna dress it right now, the outfit. All right, I was a little crazy wearing this and concerned. So I take a picture, send it to my friends. They're in their 60s, their 50s. They're like, you rock it, girl, you go. My 31-year-old son takes a look. Says, Ma, you really gonna try and pull that off? I said, no, honey, it's a comedy show. I'm not pulling off anything. You're thinking of my other job that mommy has. You know, the one that put you through college? Yeah. So, I come from Babylon, right? Here from Babylon. All the Babylonians here, gotta love it. Great place to live. I've lived there my whole life, 59 years, same place. Right? We got some great beaches in Babylon. All right, they found body parts. But we have really great hiking trails from Belmont Lake State Park all the way to Southard's Pond. All right, they found some body parts there too. But we are one of the only towns on Long Island that back in the 90s on Cablevision, we had our own song. Who remembers The Heart of It All Has It All? If you remember, sing with me. I heard a lot of Babylonians. The heart of it all has it all. Babylon. Actually, I think the heart is the only body part they didn't find in Babylon. Now listen, if I was going to make up a slogan for Babylon, it'd be, come to Babylon. We have something for everybody. Come to Babylon, get ahead. Come to Babylon, it'll only cost you an arm and a leg. Who's following Rex Heuermann and the Gilgo Beach murders? Monday, are you all waiting to hear the new press conference? I know I am. I'll tell you. But when it first came out in the news, right? They interviewed his neighbors. And they all said things like, well, he kept to himself, he wasn't very social, he never left the house. And I'm thinking, holy shit, my husband's a serial killer. Tell you, how many of you realize that all of Long Island is becoming one huge assisted living? Right? Every fucking way you drive, they're building a new assisted living. When you land in Hawaii, they put a lei around your neck. When you land at MacArthur, you know what they put around your neck? A life alert. And every corner is a CVS. You can't flick a Xanax without hitting a CVS. It's crazy. Matter of fact, I'm in CVS the other day. Okay, going down the little Halloween aisle, and they had this thing hanging, this bag, and it said trunk or treat. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I read it, and it's all the stuff to decorate the trunk of your car for Halloween, so you can give out candy from the trunk of your car. So now, I'm 59, I don't know from this. I think this is weird. I take a picture, I post it on Facebook, I make a joke. I get blasted by young mothers. Claudia, don't you know that trunk or treat is the safe way to trick or treat? And it's sanctioned by schools and the Boy Scouts and churches. Case in point. If a fucking priest offers you candy from the trunk of his car, run like hell. Tonight I'm celebrating because I retired after 32 years of teaching. Thank you. Yeah, I am ready to start my next chapter. Paying off my student loans. Yeah, I used to teach some of the most challenging kids on Long Island. I did. I once got cursed out by a kindergartner. It's true. Kid looked up at me and said, "You ugly, old, fat, smelly bitch." I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. I am not old." I'll tell you, but all right, so I'm not, old, so to speak, but, we all think we look better than we do. I had a dose of reality last week. This teenage cashier said to me, "So, do you want the senior discount?" I said, "What? You think I look like a senior citizen? Fuck you!" And yes, I want the discount. Not stupid. I'll tell you, so I'm not a senior citizen, but I'm not middle-aged either. I'm 59. Do the math. What do I think I'm gonna live to 118? I'm stuck somewhere between Bed Bath and the great beyond. And getting old sucks, man, because I can't sleep anymore. Anybody here have trouble sleeping? Isn't it the worst? I'll tell you, I am so desperate for sleep. Next week, I scheduled 4 colonoscopies. I'm so old that I've been known to sneeze, fart, pee, and change the channel all at the same time. It's true. And what used to sound like a punishment when I was a kid doesn't sound so bad anymore. You gotta go to bed early. Okay. You're grounded. I don't have to leave the house. All right. I'm gonna give you such a spanking. Bring it on. Bring it on. So I'm no longer a full-time special ed teacher, but I'm a part-time college professor. Out of the frying pan into the fucking fire. Yeah, let me tell you. And if I see one more LOL on a college paper, I'm gonna rip my hair out of my head. Right? I mean, texting language on college papers. So then I started to say, maybe I should speak their language, connect. So I put a YF on a kid's paper. So he goes, "Oh, your friend." I said, "No, you fail." The one good thing, though, about teaching millennials and Gen Z is that I always have a classroom full of tech support. Those little bastards know their way around a cell phone and a laptop. They make me feel a little incompetent. But then I remember, I can fill out a check, I can sign that check in script, and I can tell time on a clock with hands. Fuck you. And our dean sent us an email that said, "We are no longer allowed to have any correspondence with students where we use all capital letters because these students feel we're yelling at them." These pussies should have been around when I was a kid. My mother drove the Pontiac with one hand, lit a Camel with the other, and smacked us in the back seat. "Sit down, you little bastards!" All in capital letters. I'll tell you. So, I got a friend, she's really woke. Drives me nuts. She said to me recently, "Oh, I like your watch. Where'd you get it?" I said, "I got it on Amazon." She says to me, "You shouldn't shop on Amazon. You should support small businesses." So then I'm going to a house. I give her a call. I said, "Listen, I'm stopping at Starbucks. You want anything?" She says to me, "You shouldn't go to Starbucks because they kill 1 million trees a year just to make those cups." I'm never telling this bitch about my vibrator. I don't need to know how many rubber trees gave the ultimate sacrifice for my pleasure. tell you. Son of a bitch. Anyway, and you know, the world is thinking of new ways to kill us. It's true. We had COVID, right? West Nile virus. Now fucking boar's head is killing us. I'm gonna be writing my will at the deli counter on butcher paper. Could you imagine, like, Oscar Mayer starts killing us? Death by wiener. Listen, it has a whole new meaning than when I was in my 20s. And if Starbucks starts killing us, just bury me with my bonus stars. And I'm gonna need a venti-sized coffin with a lid. Yeah. But it is making me a little nervous though with all the shit we could catch, and it's turned me into a restroom ninja. It's true. I can kick open a restroom door, hover 3 feet over the toilet, jump down like Spider-Man, wash my hands, dry my hands, get in and out without ever touching a thing. It's true. Yeah, but I'll tell you, if my new iPhone falls in the toilet, I'm diving in. I am. And talking about restrooms, don't you hate those cutesy little restroom signs? You know, you got like a mermaid and a merman. I went to a restaurant with my husband recently, right? We're leaving. I go, before we leave, I'm just gonna hit the bathroom. So I go in there. I come out of the stall, and my husband is standing in front of me with his back to me. I said, honey, what the hell are you doing in the ladies' room? He said, I'm peeing in a urinal. What are you doing in the men's room? I said, wasn't there like a chicken and a cat on the door? He said, it was a cock and a pussy. But being a retired teacher's great because now I could go on vacation when all those little fuckers are in school. I don't have to wait for winter recess or spring break, right? Matter of fact, I'm planning a vacation in October. So I asked my girlfriend, I go, you got any recommendations for a travel agent? She tells me BJ's. I said, I'm not asking you how to pay for the vacation. BJ's Wholesale Club. I feel like you gotta say the whole name, right? Otherwise it's like, see this ring? BJ's. And aren't we glad all those stupid-ass drive-bys are gone? Remember when the pandemic started, we had drive-by birthdays, drive-by graduations, right? When the pandemic first started, I called my gynecologist, drive-by pap smear. I know what you're thinking. Yes, it fit in the window. It did. All right, talking about gynecologists. You ever wonder if they teach gynecologists to make small talk? Right, because here I am, I'm laying on the table, my legs are in the air. My doctor says to me, I see you're wearing your hair different. And did you know, if you get a hysterectomy, you get everything taken out, you still got to go to the gynecologist. But only now the small talk echoes. Nice weather. We're having. It's like a perverted Lou Gehrig speech. Crazy. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I was extremely overweight at one point in my life. My alarm clock played the Mr. Softy jingle. Let me explain. I had weight loss surgery, and I lost over 100 pounds. Thank you, yeah. One thing they don't tell you, though, with all that extra skin, your tits are gonna look like 2 empty gym socks. It gives a whole new meaning to the phrase Chick-fil-A. I'll tell you, I went to a plastic surgeon and she says to me, those gotta go. Those gotta go. They're too long. Long. Oh my God, of all the words I want used to describe my breasts, long is not one of them. Right? I mean, could you imagine going for a bra fitting and she says, oh, you'll fit into a 38 long? So I had to buy those little clips you stick on the end of the toothpaste tube, you know, to roll up the tube. Stick them to the end of my nipple and roll my tit up and stick it in my bra. It's pretty bad when your insurance company takes a look at the photos that the plastic surgeon sends and goes, "Ah, we better pay for those." I know, you're all staring at my tits. I named them the Blues Brothers. Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Yeah. But it took my husband a little while to get used to my new figure. You know, we're in bed, we're fooling around, and I go, honey, up here, stop tickling my kneecaps. I'll tell you. And when I went to the plastic surgeon, she actually flipped me out because she said, listen, I just want you to know, after surgery, you might lose feeling in your nipples. That freaked me out because they're one of my only erogenous zones with a target. All right, so now there's not a lot of laughter. I'm a teacher. We're going to have a teachable moment. We're going to do something called a turn and talk. I want the women turn to the men, explain what and where the erogenous zone is. All right. Jeez. And you know, there's a double standard with fat men and fat women. There is. When I was really overweight, I had this guy actually say to me, when are you due? My baby's making car payments, you fat fuck. When are you due for your triple bypass? And when was the last time you saw your dick? Damn it. So my last name is Bonavita. In Italian, it means good life. I'm married 36 years. And I keep asking my husband when the good life's gonna start. That's true. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He cannot work his phone, I'll tell you. And he doesn't get texting lingo. I texted him the other day, IDK. He texts back, what the hell is IDK? So I text back, I don't know. So he texts back, if you don't know, how do I know? You texted me. So then I think I'm being cute, you know, so I sent him a text, you're my BFF. He texts back, why are you calling me a big fat fuck? That one he gets. And he thinks he's a wise ass, and now he's making up his own texting lingo. So he's in the bathroom, he texts me GMTP. I said, what the hell is that? He goes, give me toilet paper. Now he's sitting on the couch. He texts me GMTR. I said, what the hell is that? He goes, give me the remote. Now he's in the bedroom, in bed. He texts me GMBJ. Now listen, I'm a good sport. I'm a good wife. I go in there. I start unbuttoning his pants, unzippering, taking out. He goes, this is wonderful, honey, but where's my Ben and Jerry's? And he wears 2 hearing aids, and they're connected to his phone through Bluetooth. And he watches frickin' Instagram videos all goddamn day. So I'm talking, I'm getting nothing. I'm like, hello? He actually said to me, I can't hear you, I got my hearing aids in. The hell is that? That's like saying I can't fuck you, I got a hard on. And he lives in the past. He says shit like, well, it's next door to where Genevieve's used to be. Or it's across the street from where Blockbuster was. He actually said the other day, you know the shopping center where Woolworths was? I said, when was the last time you left the fucking house? And he's retired, so he'll sleep till noon, get up. He'll do one thing a day, and he's done. Right? So he gets up the other day, it's like 12:15. He takes the garbage out, and now he plops his fat ass on the couch. He fat-lined. Beep. All right, I'm calling it. Time of plop, 12:34 p.m. And now he loves our animals, I will say that. And he bought them this new dog food, Farmina. It's made in Italy, right? That's bullshit, man. My dogs are eating food made in Italy. I'm drinking wine made in Riverhead. You know, but I treat him well. I feed him well, you know. I actually made him this great dinner the other night. Filet mignon, lobster tail. I took out the cloth napkins. I put it on his lap. He says to me, I guess now you want a tip. I said, no, I want the whole thing. And he mixes up sayings and all. He'll say shit like, we'll jump off that bridge when we get to it. He made a point the other day, and he goes, you know, that's my school of thumb. School of thumb. And now I'm trying to do something around the house to help him and fix something. He goes, get out of the way, get out of the way. You're doing it all backwards, ass. I said, did you just say ass backwards, ass backwards? What the hell is that? I'm making dinner the other night, and he says to me, why don't you make me some of that cooch cooch? Cooch cooch? I said, honey, couscous is a side dish. Cooch cooch is vagina. He goes, cooch cooch is a side dish if you make it with Italian sausage. But I'll tell you, we do have a good relationship. We do. We do this thing, role play, where we'll go to a bar and we'll get there early. He'll drop me off and he'll come in like 5 minutes later and try to pick me up. It's cute, right? Last week we went to a bar and he had the best pickup line of all time. You want to hear it? Yeah. All right. He comes in, he sits down close, he leans in and he whispers in my ear, I have a pension and benefits. Holy shit, take me, I'm yours. I'm Claudia Bonavita, good night, good life.
Claudia Bonavita, everybody! You guys have been fantastic. Please take care of your waitresses and bartenders.